Now I'm going to go ahead and close this now because we don't need it anymore. And I'm going to show you what those emails looked like. You'll remember it said that it had sent me some emails. So this is one of my other accounts. Actually, I'm going to go to the other one because the email is already pulled up. So this is a student account that's in that class, and you'll see that this email came through and said to the student, hey, this is an automated email just telling you that a rubric has attached to one of your assignments. And if the kids want to, they can click and open up that rubric so they can see what it looks like right from their email. They can also use this link right here to install a Goobric Chrome extension. And we're going to come back to that in just a second. That's going to be for them to do the self-assessment or the peer assessment. So your students will all receive that email, and you can reference them to it once you have attached a Goobric to one of your assignments. Okay, so we have enabled the, actually we have not done this yet, so let's go ahead and do that piece. So I'm going to go ahead and for my first student, I'm going to assess this document. I'm going to click here and then click that little link that pops up right above it. Now, right here, it's going to say, hey, wait a minute. In order to do this, you have to attach this Goobric web app. And this will only do it once, but I'm going to go ahead and hit Review Permissions and allow this. And that will install that web app and allow the process to continue. For students, they do the exact same thing. And I'll show that to you here in just a minute. Okay, so here we go. Now we have our document down below that was turned in by our student. And again, that was left blank because I didn't fill anything in on it. But typically this would have whatever paper the student might have written or whatever assignment they had completed. And then up at the top, we have the rubric that you had created. And you'll see my 3 criteria show up here as tabs. And I can either choose a box that's associated with a score, and then it will plug that in, or I could come to something like structure and I could put in a 2.5. Right, so you can do half scores up there as well. I can click right in the middle of this bar and it will make that go away. So if I just want to read without distractions, I can do that. I can then click it and open it. If your rubric is super large, you may need to make this box bigger. You can also make it smaller. And then on the right side, you have the ability to leave comments. And these comments are general and apply. They are not specific to these criteria. All right, they're just general comments. You can also, up here at the top, you can record an audio comment as well. And we'll do that in just a moment. You can also use this drop-down box to jump between your different students who have submitted their work. So here I could pull up the other student if I wanted to. You can choose whether or not, once you fill out the rubric, that it will email them their scores and their comments. You can also auto-advance to the next student once you hit submit. Okay. And then you can use this previous and next to move from student to student as well. So if I hit next, it is going to pull up the other student's work and allow me to start grading theirs. All right. That in and of itself can save a lot of teachers a lot of time, being able to just move from one assignment in that folder to the next. Okay, so I'm going to throw in another score here. We'll put a 2, and then I'll say, great job, under the comments. And then for right now, I am not going to record a comment because I am already recording right now. So those two things will interfere with each other. But I'm going to go ahead and submit this. And you'll see down here in the document that the information that I had just filled out gets dumped right at the bottom of their assignment. That allows them to come back in here and review exactly what you had filled out. And if you did record that audio comment, right below the text comments, it'll insert a link that they can click on to listen to that audio comment. Pretty slick. And again, I can move directly from there to my next student and I can assess them. So it really speeds up the process of grading within Google Classroom, and of course allows you to use rubric grading, which is not built into Google Classroom by default. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and close that tab now. And I'm going to come back here. This is my Goobric spreadsheet. And you'll notice down at the very bottom here, there's this tab that says Rubric Scores. And if I jump over there, you will see that now we have scores from the rubric that I just filled in for that student. All right. Okay, great. Now, I'm going to jump back to one of my student accounts here. Actually, let's come back here. We've done this assessing piece, so we kind of moved into using the rubric. So we opened the student's assessment from the Google Sheet. We interacted with the rubric along the top of the screen. We can add feedback or audio comments. We talked about that. Then we can submit the rubric and email them results if you want to. And then you can move directly on to the next student from there. So we talked all about using the rubric.